Hey everybody, it's Tony here, Ai2 product. So yes, we are here to talk about the Quick Attach. The newest version. There's been about 10 versions of this thing over the years, but this is the latest, greatest, hopefully the last version, because you always seem to find little tweaks and issues you got to take care of, but this is the, hopefully the grand finale on this one. It's been a pretty good unit, but you always say there's just always little things you can tweak on it. But I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the original video of this, but we've made a lot of improvements to this design. The biggest thing that you'll notice for the guys that saw the original video was these pins were actually a round shaft here, but we got rid of that, so now it's 1/3/8 plate with a basically washer weld on it, so you can just drop that in. Previous version of this, these parts were 7 gauge, now they're all 3/8, which they originally were 3/8, if you can kind of see that. Angela will get us in there. And then I think, well, and I'm kind of referring back to the original video that a lot of you guys have already watched. So I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons back and forth to that video or reference to that video. We've added these holes here, so you've got actually a place to park the pins when you're done.
Which is like one of my favorite things.
Yeah, a lot of people, that was kind of a request from a lot of people. They're like, hey, you know, it's great when you got the pin in here, but you know, what the hell do I do after that? It's like, or where do I put it so I don't, air compressor just kicked in. So I'm just kind of going over everything on the front. The operation of the Quick Attach has not changed. I mean, it works exactly the same as the original video showed you. The construction is still very similar. This main channel is 3/16 plate. These are 3/16 plate. These I went back to 3/8 plate. I was running 7 gauge plates for a while, but we were just having some deflection issues here. So I was like, you're trying to balance weight and functionality, and sometimes if you focus too much on keeping it light, then you get that same thing. You weaken it up too much. And this one is now, I think the previous version of this was right around 40 pounds. This is 50 pounds now. So we did add about 10 pounds of steel to it to beef it up and take care of some, if you're having some deflection issues in here. And you got to remember on this kind of design, you've got a 3-point connection, which you all understand that. But this design inherently puts a ton of stress into this Quick Attach. And the biggest thing is when you've got the pallet forks on, and it doesn't matter if it's this Quick Attach, Kubota's Quick Attach, everything attachments, they make a really nice skid loader design Quick Attach. So I actually have the Kubota, the BX 2410 Swift Attach, they call it. That thing weighs 100 pounds, by the way. That's a heavy hitch. So but they had to beef that up, because what you get, especially on the skid loader ones, now it's like having 2 big bars up here. Creates all kinds of torsional twist, because on tractors where your cylinders are coming down here, you've got those cylinders supporting the end of that Quick Attach. Now we've got it all being carried in the middle, and it's trying to twist this thing all the time. So if you want to come around to the back end, you can see this is also a big change we did from the original version, or from the one you saw in the original video. We had just some C-channel here that was about 3/4 of an inch tall. Well, we went to these tubes here to help with twist inside of this hitch, because it's, say when you're on a bucket, or you're on like a rock bucket or your dirt bucket, or like say if you've got my 60-inch light material bucket, that bucket shell itself is kind of also supporting this thing as well. And it's no different than if you've got any kind of hitch. The implement itself actually creates structure in the hitch. But the forks, which is, I got a carriage laying right there, and if you remember on the original forks, we had that torque tube on the back. I'm just going to go to this real quick. You can see it on this new design, which that tube has been integrated now into here. If this tube wasn't on here, when I would if I put the forks all the way to the edge and I stepped on that, it would actually twist that carriage about 2 inches. I mean, that fork would just drop. When we put this tube back in here, that eliminated probably 95% of it. You're going to get a little deflection in the carriage, but this is why that is there. And a lot of people ask why you put that round tube in there, and it's like, it does have function. It's not just there to be pretty. It does look nice, but that is why it's there. And same with this. We went to a round tube there because this tube and this tube kind of help keep that carriage nice and straight. But then when you've got forks, you got guys that are out there prying on something. Because I tell everybody, these are pallet forks. If you're going to be prying on slabs of concrete or something, you're going to be exceeding kind of what they were really meant to do. But that's up to you. If you want to do that, that's fine. But if you destroy something, don't come back and say, hey, I was just prying on this 1,000-pound slab of concrete and I twisted something. You're like, well, okay, that's really not what these are designed for. But
you gotta be smart about.
You gotta use common sense. Well, that is why they are called a pallet fork. And I've never, on those carriages and them forks, I've never had anybody wreck one. I mean, these new forks and that new carriage design, even the old carriage I never had problems with. The old design forks that were a fabricated fork, we would have some failures on those because they would more just bending. You wouldn't really break them, they would just bend. Those never had a problem with them. They've been a really good fork. But back to this thing, the other thing we did was we added a strip here and here. So now basically this top and bottom rail with another strip of 3/16, and it goes all the way back. That basically makes these two top and bottom rails 3/8 of an inch thick. And then we beefed up the center section. There's a plate. I don't know if you can really see that. Maybe we should look at.
From underneath? Should I look from underneath?
Well, we can kind of look at. We'll look at the ones over here. Since we got some that were just welded, you could kind of see there's a plate here that helps beef this thing all up in the center. These two plates, they're strips, you can see they're plug welded through here. Well, actually they're not here because that's where your pins drop through. We've added these tube supports just to help with front to back flex. This got beefed back up to a 3/8 piece of steel. This was 7 gauge for a little while. Then you go to the front side, and now you can see is also that there's another plate here. Everything's designed to help stiffen up the center section because even though there's really never weight carried here, the weight is really carried out here. On this quick attach, all it's doing is moving things front and back. But you always got the guy out there that wants to hang stuff from this hook and lift it. So you got to try to be prepared for that guy. And that's fine because when you lift right here, when that's on the tractor, you're getting your like maximum lift right there because you've got no forward leverage on that's in front of the loader. Like your bucket, everything's pretty much in front of that, so you get a lot of leverage on the loader. So you do get guys that'll lift stuff from the center, and you just got to kind of, what's the word for it? Prepare for that sort of deal. And then we added these little windows here. So it does kind of helps when you're lining up. You can kind of, when you're sitting in the seat, you can see here. And that's another big question. People ask me when they first get to quick attach, they'll be like, what's the best way to hook to my bucket or my attachment? And I tell everybody, everybody's got to kind of find their own way on that. What I do is when I'm on the tractor, I'll even kind of show you. When I hook up to it, I've got my seat switched this kind of, you got your safety switch here that shuts it off, so if you try to go forward, it shuts off. Well, I disabled that, or I just put a loop in there because it was getting quite annoying when I was mowing grass. It would actually shift me forward and it would want to kill the tractor. So I just disabled that. So what I do is I just kind of stand up and just lightly touch and then look right at that center hook. That's kind of the method I use. I think a lot of guys use that same method. It kind of just, everybody kind of has their own way, because you got to remember when you put that hitch all the way down to hook to either your factory bucket or a set of pallet forks, you can't see that thing because the hood's blocking your view. So you got to come up with a reference of some sort that helps you line up with that. And for me, the easiest thing is just jump up, look, hook in, and you're done. But everybody's kind of got their own kind of way. So as far as hooking up and everything, that's just kind of what I do. We'll actually probably do a video on that here soon that just shows the method I use, because this video is more just on the quick attach itself and what's changed and from the original video to this video, because that original video was made, man,
That was a long time
like
ago.
2007, 2008 range, something like that. You know, now it's just a quick and dirty one, because I had made one of these things and figured we'd never make another one again, the funny thing is. So I'm like, hell with it, we'll just make a video just for the heck of it and see what happens. Little did I know what was going to happen with that deal, but so yeah, we just needed a new video to show the new quick attach. I say, as far as quick attach goes, it does look very similar. And guys that have those original quick attaches, there's no reason to get rid of it by any means, unless you wore it out, which can happen. But yeah, I mean, this is the new hitch. Of course, we've got all our new other attachments that go with that, and we'll get to videos on all that as well. But for now, I think we'll call this one good. Remember to check us out on Facebook and our website, bxattachments.com, and then our phone number, because we do have a new phone number. It's 320-331-1055. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call. Thank you very much. We'll see you later. I'm driving right now. Can't you tell? I'm driving inside. I'm very internal with all of my stuff. I don't show it on the outside, but I'm really giddy and giggling inside. Yeah.
Well, the air compressor set off.
What do I do?
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky, I don't know what to do with my hands. My hands are... Anyway, I'm just trying to get back in wherever we were.
So we were talking about the pins.
The pins, yes. Completely lost my train of thought again. Anyway, you know, it's just a slab of steel with whatever on it.